What's up, everybody? We are here for episode 9, our special New Year's Eve. Or wait, New Year's edition, excuse me. We are past New Year's Eve. We are past our Christmas episode. And now, what episode is this, Zach? What number?
Didn't you just say 9?
Did I say 9 already?
You said 9.
I spoiled it.
We're 9 in.
9. This guy thinks he's done more, but YouTube doesn't lie. We're almost at double digits. So, speaking of...
We're on YouTube?
Yes, we're on YouTube, man. We have like 50 subscribers, or 60 or something like that now. We're pretty fancy, man. Let me tell you what. How was your Christmas and New Year's? I know we did this last before Christmas, right before it. Had some fun on that one. The tree is now gone, by the way. The stage doesn't look as cheery. But tell us about your Christmas, New Year's, all that, man.
Dude, it was good. We are so busy all the time, and my wife working at the school and our church doing Christmas the way we did with our offices, we got a similar break, and we actually got to slow down. We slept past like 8 o'clock every day.
There you go,
dude. But
with that.
It was a lot. It was really good, man. Family, some fun stuff.
Yeah, your youngest shaved his head.
Dude,
that's a win. Looks like you now. Come on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, we're in the New Year's. We missed the New Year's celebration, but we're not too far past New Year's to talk about some resolutions, okay?
Okay.
So I want to hear from you. In your lifetime, have you ever been a New Year's resolution guy?
No.
No, not ever?
No, because they don't. I've always been a goal guy and a tangible, and okay, I'm just going to go on a mini rant here.
Go for it, dude.
How people approach January has always... My birthday's in the middle of January, so being at churches...
10 days?
Yep, 10 days from today. Being at churches and like resolutions, I'm so sick of everyone wanting to get healthy or fast during my birthday.
Oh, that's what it comes back to.
Because a lot of people, like a lot of churches do that 21-day Daniel fast.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, 21 into January.
Thank you.
I'm all for fasting. Like I regularly, like you should do it. It's biblical.
Yeah.
And someone might need to rebuke me. One of our friends, John Spear, is going to tell me I'm unbiblical for this.
Yeah, I'll tag John.
Stop fasting on my birthday.
John's actually not my friend anymore. Maybe we'll talk about that later. Okay, back to your fasting and your birthday. This really comes down to you don't really, it's not the resolution thing, it's not the biblical thing, it's you being selfish and wanting to splurge on your birthday.
Listen, if I ask you...
How old are you going to be?
35.
35. Okay,
listen,
let's transition.
No, but here's what I'm so sick of.
Okay.
No, okay. 80% of the year, you'd go get a burger with me. But in January 18th, because the stats show by the 21st people are done, right?
Yes, yeah, 22 days,
so
I think.
The 18th, you're trying to be healthy. 3 days later, you gave up and you don't take me for a burger.
Oh, don't say
I hate you.
Whoa!
Not you.
All
of y'all.
I'm going to edit that to where you just say, I hate you. Oh, that's good. All right, hey, your birthday, since we won't record another one before your birthday.
Why not?
Because that's 10 days from now, dude. We got to space these out a little bit.
Or we got to get more consistent.
No, 2 a month tops. It's hard to do these more than once. What are we going to talk about?
It's not hard for me. You do everything. I just show up.
Yeah, but what are we going to talk about if we do it? Anyways, back to your birthday. If you could receive or do anything for your birthday, what do you expect Shani to come up with?
No.
Since she watches these and edits these for us.
Dude.
What do you want for your birthday? Let's just simplify it. Come on.
Well,
wish list.
The league that you're in charge of starts that day, so I have to coach my kid's first game that day.
Oh, poor. Yeah.
So a win.
Yeah.
I want to win.
You want to win. Everything that we're not about. I want to win. Okay, that's good. I like it. Okay. I'll make sure to ref that game so you don't win. I'll make sure to call all the calls on you guys and not
Dude,
on your team.
I'd be fine getting thrown out on my birthday.
Hey, there you go. That'd be fun. All right. Yeah. Birthday though, come on, man. You gotta have something. Like, what is some? Is there a game or a pair of shoes or a movie you want to go see? There's got to be something.
Dude,
this is your birthday / New Year's episode, dude. I didn't realize that.
I have something I want, but it's not realistic.
Let's hear it.
I want I want a new guitar, a new electric guitar. But
Electric?
that's not real. Yeah. Well, I have a good electric, but guitars are like shoes. Like there's different types of shoes for different things.
Yeah.
So I don't want to sell what I have, but I want to get a different type of guitar for different sounds.
Okay.
So
that's cool.
But that's not realistic. That's just, if you're asking me something I want.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear about, was like if there was like a wish list right now. It doesn't mean you're going to get it.
This isn't me telling my wife, get me a guitar.
I'm hearing you say,
No.
Shanny, get me a guitar. All right, New Year's resolutions. I got to share some funny ones that I saw online.
You looked up?
I looked up. Okay, they're funny. Okay, so one of the top ones that people commit to every single New Year's is I'm going to stop procrastinating. I think everyone in America, the world probably can relate to that one.
But if you come up with that on New Year's Eve, aren't you procrastinating?
That's the joke, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And then this is a real one. Train my cat to stop judging me. This is why I don't like cats or cat people. So if you were one of those categories, I don't like you.
Dude, check this out. Another quick story. This is going to derail our podcast.
That's okay.
But
the producers don't mind.
We each year add like one piece to our Christmas lights. Like
yeah,
you have
my
a
inflatables.
big setup.
Yeah.
Each year, I tell Shani our rules. We build up one thing each year, and so we had some lights. This is the most our setup has been.
Yeah, it looked good.
Well, partway through, on our garage door, the lights got ripped down.
Yeah.
And
you told this story on the last podcast. He's aging himself right now. You literally.
No. Okay.
You told this story.
Okay. Well, anyways, we thought it was a cat.
Yes.
A bunch of posts from the police department, Pasco Police Department. There was someone coming around in our neighborhood, literally.
Oh.
But we didn't think it would have been a person because we had other stuff.
Yeah, you said that.
Why would you just rip stuff down and not do everything else?
Yeah.
So we thought it was a cat. So Jevers, our 4-year-old, literally was like, because our dog will go after cats.
Okay.
Me and Bree are gonna throw cats.
Yeah.
And every time he'd see a cat, he'd get angry.
I love it.
And then eventually we told him no, it was a person that he's like, I still don't like cats.
Attaboy. I like that kid even more now. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. I'm not gonna say it on the podcast, but look who's calling me right now. Can you read that? From where? About a possible partnership that I've been trying to get with for a new site. Anyways, I'm gonna not take that right now because we're live.
Dude,
so
we can pause this.
You can't pause it. This is live, dude.
Okay.
All right, back to resolutions. Another one. Only eat pizza 3 times a week. That's a lot of pizza.
Dude, I'm a youth pastor and a dad of 3 boys, though.
Yes. Well, you don't eat pizza 3 times a week.
We have pizza at youth.
Okay. That's
one
Sunday.
one of our church nights. We do frozen pizzas because it's fast.
Okay, that doesn't count because it's a church thing. But yeah, that's 2.
And then a lot of times it's just easy and you'd go pick up a little Caesar.
So you do it once a week. The other 2 don't count.
We've been really good. We haven't done the once a week.
We are usually a once a week kind of family. Typically in our house we're Friday nights. That's kind of our night. But the other 2 don't count because those are events.
See, Friday nights, if we have the time, me and my boys go cook on the griddle.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. We'll have to do a podcast on your griddling and cooking skills because you are a secret good cook. Anyways, we'll get to that one. Okay, here's some more. Learn how to clap on beat. As a music guy, you probably appreciate that. I'm the guy at your church who's clapping off beat and you're mad at, okay? That's me because I have no musical gifts. Speaking of, you want a guitar, that should be mine. Learn how to clap on beat, but nobody claps at our church. No offense to anyone at Hope. Nobody claps at our church, dude. That's a different topic. Anyways, I resolved to stop liking my own posts on social media. I do not do that, just for the record.
If I do, it's on accident.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Spend less time with people who ask me why I'm single. Obviously, we are not in that category, but that is a real thing for people. It's one of the top things that people commit to. Only buy clothes that fit instead of convincing myself I'll lose weight to fit into them.
You know what? Guess what?
What's that?
So I'm short, but I got a gut.
Okay.
And height-wise, I should be small pants.
Okay.
But waist-wise,
we're getting real vulnerable right now.
Waist size, not so much. And listen, for the longest time, I was
like, do you want to share your waist size with the audience?
No, I said
you already shared
medium or small.
You already shared your age.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So, but I've always done small, even though I know that's like Dude, but I finally this summer started getting like medium shorts because I found out you could still get them like the length.
Yeah.
Even though, you know, but for Christmas I had pants on my list, and I finally caved and I was like, well, I'm gonna get medium. So they probably don't look much different on legs, but my waist isn't hurting.
Uh-huh.
I'm not muffin topping it.
Muffin topping it just made the podcast. Everybody.
Yeah. So I'm actually wearing pants that are my proper waist size for the first time since I was like 15.
For those who aren't aware of that terminology, can you explain muffin topping to them? Can you define what that is?
When you wear tight pants and you got a gut and your pants push everything up to make it look like the top of a muffin.
And you're officially canceled. Attaboy. All right, here's another one that I'm guilty of.
I'm talking about me.
Oh, there you go.
Not anyone else.
Here's one that I am guilty of, but I don't have a dog, okay? Stop blaming my farts on the dog, at least when it's obvious. Mine would be stop blaming my farts on the kids.
Dude, no, my kids, everyone blames the farts on me.
Oh, yeah.
No, even this morning, Elisha walked into the room, our 9-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Dad farted. I'm like, are you really going to accuse me of farting somewhere I didn't even walk yet? Like, I didn't even walk into his room.
Oh, and then the last one of the top New Year's Eve resolutions was, and this is a real one. I don't know if you experience this in your job at the church, but I do with our job at FCA. Learn to actually use the reply all button responsibly. Do you know what I'm talking about with the emails? When people respond to like a one sentence and it goes to everybody and it just fills your email up. Like some of those don't need to be reply all. Just reply to the sender. Please know how to use reply all. I hate group texts as well for that same reason. But
I never reply all. I just reply to the person I need to. That's how I.
That's what you're supposed to do. That's what I'm saying. Use this responsibly.
But now, for like to send to parents and update people and stuff, like I send emails out to everybody.
Yes, but that's not replying all.
Yeah.
An example of that would be you send a whole thing out about your upcoming camp to your parents, right? That you have coming up. And then one person would reply all to a question about them, but to everybody. They need to learn to use it responsibly.
This probably doesn't make me sound super professional, but I text more than I email, even about
Zach,
work-related
stuff. I think people are probably still thinking about your muffin topping than about making you unprofessional than you are how you email or text. All right, let's go to college football, dude.
A banana muffin sounds good right now.
Banana muffin. I'm hungry, dude, to be honest.
So am I.
All right. Well, we can't fix it because we're live. Okay, we need to focus.
We need to do a lunch podcast.
We do, but not today.
Oh, we could do a Hot Ones episode.
A what?
Hot Ones? You ever seen that where they interview like celebrities and ask them questions as they eat really hot wings?
Oh, that's so like 2020, dude.
No, it's still happening. It's like a popular show. It's still a thing.
But that's not us.
If you get asked to be on Hot Ones, you're doing something with your life.
Dude, we will get asked. It's coming. Okay. We will wait until the day we get asked onto that show. Okay, football, college football. I've been waiting to talk about
Hold on,
this.
I'm gonna pause. Not to be that guy, but like, I usually don't say this, but I feel like this is actually a good episode so far.
Oh my gosh, now it's not. Now you can't. That's like liking your own social media post that we talked about a minute ago.
Or like when I played music. Now bands do it because it's cool. But back in the day, if you wore your own band shirt on stage,
yeah.
But now it's okay.
And wait a minute, all of our episodes have been good. You jerk. There was one that was like the second one, or the one that I lost, or
the first one back from the summer, from 5 months off, didn't even work.
No, because the mics. Anyways, they're all amazing. All right, college football, dude. Okay, we're gonna walk through these 4. We're only talking about the playoffs, not all those other dumb bowls. Did you see the bowl game really quick before I get into this one? Even though I said we're not gonna talk about it, the mayonnaise one where they dumped mayonnaise on all the winners.
Dude, the best one was the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yeah. Okay.
Iowa State got to choose. They made this big Pop-Tart.
Do you remember like back in the day when they had like a PlayStation Bowl and all the players got PlayStations and like it was a cool like bowl to go. Who wants to go to a mayonnaise? The company that makes mayonnaise or whatever.
We could really rabbit trail this and look up all the sponsors of the and like.
We should.
And I was like, why would kids want to go to play?
We should do that.
The Pop-Tarts one is cool.
They dump mayonnaise on you like they would like Gatorade bath. That's disgusting.
The Pop-Tarts one, they after the Gatorade bath, they give them a jar of the sprinkles.
Oh, dude, you guys are you're making me hungry. All this food.
Dude, I haven't had a Pop-Tart in like 10 years.
My kids had one recently for the first time and they loved them. It's just sugar. Why would you?
I know,
sugar and bread.
I grew up like the cereals and Pop-Tarts like.
Oh man, we ate such bad cereal as kids. Remember how the
commercials? My wife doesn't let our kids have those. The stuff that I grew up on.
Yeah, me neither. Okay.
Because she's a good mom.
Exactly.
And I would just.
What are you saying about your mom? Who watches this probably?
She doesn't watch it.
Okay, I'm gonna send it to her.
Love you, Mom.
Oh, okay. Remember the commercials about the cereal that we grew up eating that would always say part of your complete breakfast?
Yeah.
As a kid, I'm like, yeah, it's healthy. That really, I really believed it, dude.
Do you know what I want for my birthday?
Oh, here we go.
A box of s'mores Pop-Tarts.
Dude, I got you, man.
A box.
Next episode.
No, sorry, not s'mores. The cookies and cream Pop-Tarts.
Okay, I got you.
Cookies and cream
Next
Pop-Tarts.
episode, mark my words. We're having.
And a bowl of Reese's Puffs.
You got it. We're gonna have it right here.
And a 10-pack of Capri Sun.
Whoa, that's gross. Now you went too far.
Dude,
You can't
I'll
mix
drink a
those three.
box. You need something to drink?
Not a Capri Sun with Reese's Pieces. You can't mix juice and peanut butter. But next episode, we will have a bowl of cereal with that and a Pop-Tart. I got you.
Dude, I like this new setup because I can
Gosh. Okay, back to college football. The Peach Bowl, Texas narrowly avoided an upset to Arizona State. I need to say my apologies. I am a man of my word. And I bashed Arizona State pretty hard our last episode about how they didn't belong. And that running back specifically was a loudmouth and didn't belong. And it was looking like I was going to be right. And then he just flipped a switch and took over. Wins MVP in a loss, which they should have had a chance to win if the referees didn't pick up the flag for the targeting.
There's rumors that the Big 12 and the school they were trying to vacate and change the result.
Well, yeah, but that's never going to happen.
No,
ever.
but they were legally taking action.
Well, they should have. Well, I mean, they shouldn't have, but that was the most obvious call ever. What is your takeaway on that game? What do you have to say about it? Double overtime, 39-31.
It was one
Texas.
of the few good games we got.
There you go. I would agree.
And honestly, the winner of that game and everything else that's happened in the bowls and the playoffs, the winner in all of this, the Big 12.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, you're right.
Because of all the other teams, like everyone's like, well, the Big 12 cannibalized itself. So did the SEC.
Well, BYU took care of Colorado pretty easily.
Yeah, and
What conference is BYU in?
Big 12.
Oh, they are?
They had a Big 12 bowl game, which is so weird.
I did not know they were in the Big 12.
But, and then look what all the other Big 12 teams did in the bowls. Like, part of it is the Big 12 was out to prove a point, and their teams happened to care, and a lot of the other teams didn't.
Totally. Well, and they were able to keep their kids to play. A lot of kids opted out of all those bowls too, right?
Yeah. So, but the Big 12, the next year, the Big 12, ACC, one thing.
Shout out to Bill Belichick.
The Big 12, those teams had a couple. It wasn't like the old Pac-12 where like the teams just weren't that good.
Yeah, totally. Or no defense whatsoever.
The Big 12,
Scoring 60 points.
good teams, good football.
But let's stay on Arizona State though. Talk about that was impressive how they fought back in the fourth quarter. Texas to me kind of looked like they have all this potential, all these great athletes all over, but they just can't seem to put it all together.
It also probably decided the fate of Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, he's going to transfer somewhere. He's gone. The rumors are going to come true.
Yeah, he's because unless he does something crazy in the semifinals and finals,
that's his only shot. Yeah, he's not going pro, no matter what.
But he's gonna get it. He's gonna get a big payday to go
somewhere, Indy, Oregon.
But maybe it might not be someone because a lot of the teams that had already filled that. Yeah. Because he's playing deep in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's go to the next game because I don't want to spend too much time on the recaps because I want to talk about the ones that are happening. Ohio State, Oregon, blowout.
Hold on, we missed a very important game that happened Monday.
Monday? What are you talking about? What?
North Dakota State
beat
Montana State in the FCS playoffs.
Oh, geez.
It was a really good game.
I'm not talking about Trey Lance's brother.
I missed it because I was here coaching basketball, but I got home and I watched the highlights. Dude,
I will say,
if you want to watch good fundamental football,
it's fun to watch.
It is so fun to watch.
And those quarterbacks have been battling there for 4 years.
And
that was pretty neat.
And South Dakota State, who lost in the semifinals.
Yeah.
My Iowa Hawkeyes got a high-level transfer portal. We got their quarterback, Mark Gronowski.
Better than that, we got the coach. Right?
You got the South Dakota. Yep. Got Rogers.
That quarterback went to Iowa?
He did.
That's a win.
It's a huge win.
Wow, you guys are actually going to have a competent quarterback.
We said that 2 years ago when we paid a bunch of money to get Cade McNamara from Michigan when he lost his job to J.J. McCarthy.
Well, that wasn't yeah.
But that turned out really bad for us. But
Yeah.
this feels different.
It does.
Well, this guy only has 1 year with
Playoff
us.
bound, baby. All right, Rose Bowl, Ohio State, Oregon. Summarize it in one sentence.
Stupid. I don't like Ohio State. If you're in the Big Ten,
Hey, I'll summarize it this way. Oregon pulled an Oregon. This is becoming their brand. They have these amazing regular seasons, even back in the day when it was just you play in either the Bowl Championship Series or the playoffs, and they just can't get it done. And when they are asked to get it done with the big boys, and Ohio State blew them out of the water. It was they scored
yes
30.
and no. Here's what I was gonna get to say. Now that I collected my thoughts, since you prepare for this and I don't.
I don't prepare for it. I just
You at least write notes.
I do right now. I'm a nerd.
All 4 teams that got a bye lost.
I know. They talked about that on TV all over.
And here's what I'm saying. Also, I get it. It's a reward. People get to rest, but you have to wait a month. If you have the bye, you're waiting almost a month.
Yeah, well, that's why they need to move up.
It all needs
Move up the
to. It all
playoffs.
needs to change because
Yeah.
you can't tell me.
The championship already should have happened.
Well, why can't they do really similar to what the NFL does?
Go right into it.
Well, dude.
1 week and go right into it.
Okay, I'm just rabbit trailing today.
Yeah, you're on.
There's a clip, the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions, the handshake after the game.
Yeah.
Have you seen that clip?
With the coaches. I'll see you
Yeah.
in 2 weeks. Yeah, Dan Campbell.
Yeah. It's like, dude, I'll see. I know it's gonna. We'll see you
Dan
back here,
Campbell is
dude.
my hero, dude.
Dude, that
I know
guy's awesome.
he uses words that I don't approve of.
Yeah.
But that guy's energy and belief and leadership, he's a stud. All right.
What I'm saying is Oregon getting a home game being the highest seed
Yeah.
and not having that layoff. One, Ohio State shouldn't have been ranked as low as they were.
No,
Like,
that was a terrible.
But honestly, Ohio State, unfortunately, I was right in this. Ohio State losing to Michigan
It helped them.
was the worst thing to happen to anyone else in the playoffs. And
Yeah.
I hate to say this because I hate Ohio State with everything in my being.
Yeah.
That to me, they're the clear favorite.
Yeah,
clear
for
favorite.
sure. We'll get to that in a second, though, the favorite part. Notre Dame, Georgia. Did you get a chance to watch it? They had to move it up because of that tragedy, but
Yeah.
they played the next day, and it was an ugly game, but I think the longest play of scrimmage all day long was like 30 yards
Yeah,
for Notre Dame.
my take on that, and you're probably gonna tell me I'm wrong. I think Notre Dame wins that. It's a factor. It's a factor.
Are you going to Beck right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like Beck either.
I think
Notre Dame wins that either
well,
way.
and Beck's a good quarterback, but I actually think Notre Dame has the roster and the build, and they've learned.
Yep.
And
Beck would have thrown a couple picks, in my opinion.
was
Beck
it Brian Kelly left LSU to go?
Yeah,
to
Brian
go try
Kelly.
to win
How's he
titles?
looking?
And
hey, Brian, you still working on your accent, by the way? How's that working out for you? He's gone
and
after
Freeman,
next year, dude.
Freeman, dude, Notre Dame's coach Freeman.
I love that guy.
You know who's probably going to get yours?
I love Freeman, dude.
Who's probably going to get yours because they haven't looked for a quarterback and their quarterback's going to be gone?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's the rumor. He's going to.
Everyone says Oregon. Oregon
It's
has.
Oregon or Notre
well,
Dame.
no, but Oregon's
got money.
Well, no, but Oregon already brought in. I think that's why the one kid that didn't even play it down yet transferred already, committed and transferred.
Yeah.
The guy who was UCLA starting quarterback last year, transferred to Oregon, was sitting behind Gabriel this year. Mm-hmm. I think they know he's going to be their starter.
Matt Hasselbeck's son is at UCLA. Just random for you. Do you even know who Matt Hasselbeck is?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, well, he's a Seahawks quarterback. You're an Iowa guy.
Tyler Shores has called me.
Oh, hey, Tyler.
He always calls during these podcasts.
He's trying to get on, dude. He wants to get on. All right. I saved this one for last because I'm a jerk.
No.
Penn State, Boise State. 2 points. Okay, let me just talk about something. I'm going to go in on this guy again.
You and I view differently.
That's fine. We can view differently, and then you can go after me. That's the running back. Boise State's running back. Yeah, go ahead and say it for the camera because I always mispronounce his name.
Ashton Genty.
I had a bunch of people come at me on YouTube and on TikTok about my take on this guy last time. So I'm going to address what I said last time. When teams actually get to, game plan around a running back like him that does not have a line in front of him when he's playing against real competition, and when I'm not taking anything away from him, his character, the coach's character. It's an incredible program. They're all about Jesus. I love that. But I'm just talking about basic competition right now. And what I said was going to happen, happened. He had 29 carries, I believe, maybe 30 carries.
Mm-hmm.
He did break the 100-yard mark, but that was because he had one 30-yard run. You take away that 30-yard run, he averaged 2.7 yards a carry with 2 fumbles. Okay? And everyone wants to go back to the Oregon game. Well, look what he did against Oregon. Well, yeah, Oregon showed all year that their defense was vulnerable in situations. Ohio State proved it.
And Oregon didn't look good for the first chunk of the season.
No, that was early on in the season. So I'll go back and say this. If Boise State played a schedule that wasn't who they played against all year long, if they played a real schedule like Penn State played, they would have never touched the playoffs. And the numbers that this running back got all year would not even been close to that.
Okay.
That was my argument, and that was proven correct in that game.
I get you, but if something...
2 fumbles.
But if something changed, because all the rumors the last couple of years with all the conference realignment,
yeah.
I honestly, the biggest loser, not Washington State, not Oregon State, in all these conversations, to me, Boise State, because for years Boise State was rumored, especially with football, with how good
to come to the Pac-12.
No.
Back then.
No, Big 12. Big 12 had been the rumor.
And Pac-12.
Yes.
Well, they wanted to get in the Pac-12.
But as the Pac-12 was folding, the rumor became Big 12.
Well, I'm talking about way before that. I'm talking about back in Peterson's day.
But now they're becoming a part of the new Pac-12, which is the glorified Mountain West.
Yes.
Here's the thing. Boise State, with the fan base and all the infrastructure they have in place,
for sure.
If you were to put them in the Big 12, they could get the roster to do it.
Oh boy.
People would go to Boise to do it.
Yeah.
So to me, but their team, he didn't have a great game, but the Boise State team actually, if I remember how you talked about it, they did better than probably you thought. They kept it competitive.
See, I disagree. I've heard that from people.
You knew Penn State was going to win.
Penn State is not a explosive program with where they were blowing teams out. Penn State plays a conservative game plan every single week. They only scored more than 30 points 2 other times the rest of the season. So I wasn't expecting them to go in and win 45-3. In my opinion, that score and how the game played out was a blowout in Penn State's terms. They shut down the running back. The quarterback made some plays.
There was a window where Boise made it 1 score later in the game, right? There was a window.
A window. Yeah, but you can say that about a lot of games, right? There was a window. Granted, it wasn't a blowout like Ohio State versus Oregon, but that's not their style. Penn State's not going to do that.
That's fair enough, but again, this comes back to,
like I said before, they were lucky they played Penn State. They were lucky they got that. If they would have lined up against Oregon even, or Ohio State, or Notre Dame wouldn't have blown them out either, because that's not Notre Dame's kind of play either. But they're lucky they got the Penn State draw.
But this is what I would argue is, it stinks for Boise State that Big 12 and the ACC were undervalued, because disservice happened to Boise State by having the first round bye. With what I saw, they showed they belonged in the first round.
Oh, I don't even agree with that.
No, because I think they would have.
Who'd they play this year to prove that?
Oregon.
And what happened? Oregon, 1 game.
Okay, but
let's
how many
look up their
teams in the
schedule.
playoffs? Who did Indiana beat to deserve to be there? Who did SMU deserve?
They played in the Big Ten. They played in the Big Ten.
Okay, but
their schedule was weak. You're right.
It's not like my soccer world where every team plays every team twice.
No, you're right.
The Big Ten, air quotes, as much as I love what Indiana did, their best win was Michigan.
Yes, but they also played Ohio State.
And though I look at the Ohio State game like you looked at the Boise State-Penn State game, the score was close, but you knew Indiana, once the game started, never had a shot.
I'm trying to look up their schedule because, dude, I love...
SMU, also, you could argue. And you could even argue...
I did argue that. I did say that. I said I did not think
Paul
SMU...
Feinbaum on ESPN, who's just the Kirk Herbstreit revealed the SEC bias.
Let me just walk you through
Penn
this.
State had a weak schedule.
Let me walk you through this. They played in the Big Ten, though, dude.
They didn't play all the big dogs,
but they still played Big Ten, though. It's different football than with these guys.
Okay, look at my shirt.
Yes.
A win against Iowa doesn't mean you're worthy to be...
Iowa would destroy Boise State because of the physicality.
No,
That's what the Boise State game came down to. The size up front on both in the trenches.
I love my Hawkeyes, but we're not a good example.
Listen to Boise State's schedule. Week 1, Georgia Southern. You want to know what the score of that game was, by the way? 56-45.
They struggled.
Way to go, Boise State. Okay, Oregon, yeah, they hung in there with Oregon, 37-34. That was an epiphany. Oh, Portland State. Good job.
Everyone plays an FCS school.
Okay, Washington State, garbage, and I'm a Coug. Okay, but again, that I would even say Washington State's a step up, but they beat them and they beat them handily. Props to Boise State.
And Washington State went.
Utah State, okay. Hawaii, UNLV, who had a surprisingly good year, but got exposed later on as well. San Diego State, Nevada, San Jose State, Wyoming, Oregon State, which they held their own against Oregon State, UNLV again, they beat
Wyoming,
them easily,
Wyoming
and
almost beat, and Wyoming almost
again.
Beat them.
If you go, yeah, exactly, Wyoming almost beat them, right? So if they go play a Big 10 schedule or a Big 12 schedule, even if they're not playing the big dogs, you know how hard it is to go up every week, the physicality?
Yeah, but that argument, to me, that argument is dumb.
It's a different size
No,
kid.
that argument doesn't make sense because if they're playing a Big 10, Big 12 schedule, they have Big 10, Big 12 players.
Does it? Is that how it worked for Idaho all those years? Did they have the same level of players in there? That's not how it works.
Okay, but Idaho was never in the Big 12 or Big 10.
They were in a power. They were in a Division One schedule. It was the Big Sky or whatever it was back then. Not Big Sky. That's where they are now, I think, or they're below that now. But they were playing a high level.
But every
schedule.
conference has the bottom feeders. What I'm saying is, Boise State with Boise State's prestige and
I guess we're going to
recognition
find
in the
out,
game.
right? I guess we're going to find out.
No, because the Pac-12 is a glorified Mountain West.
Yeah, all right.
So that nothing's going to change.
People are already going to hate me enough for
Boise State should go to the Big 12.
As a Christian now, a guy who loves sports, you can't talk bad about Boise State because now, look what the coach is doing. Of course, he's doing awesome things. I'm just talking about. Here's what I'll come down to, dude. I was never, ever on the same page of any of these kids athletically. Size, speed, athleticism. So I'm not one here sitting here saying, oh, those kids are way better athletes than I ever could have dreamed of being. Okay? So props to all of them. But you can't argue the size of athlete at Boise State versus the size at Penn State. Just look at the sidelines. But enough of this because we could talk about this forever. Okay. Let's talk about the next round.
Okay.
Next round. Who do you got between, let's just stick with Penn State since it's low-hanging fruit. Penn State is playing Notre Dame. Who do you got? We can make this part quick.
Notre Dame.
You got Notre Dame?
Penn State hasn't beaten anybody.
Penn State hasn't beaten anybody? I gotta look at their schedule. We gotta go back to this.
No, that's the thing. You could use the same argument with Penn State almost.
Okay, we're about to find out right now. Penn State's, let's go week 1. Purdue.
They beat everyone they should, and they lose to the teams that are on their level or better.
Purdue, Minnesota, love that coach. Maryland, Oregon, SMU. Oh, I think I didn't get the whole schedule. Hold on.
You didn't get the whole schedule.
Yeah, let's back up this conversation.
They lost to Ohio State and really blew that game.
Let me try to look up their whole entire
At home,
schedule.
I believe, against Ohio State.
Oh, wow, this is a lot.
I think Notre Dame wins because Notre Dame is more battle-tested. I think Penn State probably has better players overall.
Okay.
But I think Notre Dame's more set up to win.
You do.
Because you can say what you want.
I like
Carson Beck being gone from Georgia.
Penn State's tight end.
They beat
though.
Georgia.
Penn State's tight end is going to have a field day with that defense. Okay.
Yeah, oh, dude.
Okay, so here's their schedule. West Virginia. That's a
6-6 team.
Yep,
Had to get a new coach.
Yep, you're right. Bowling Green.
Bottom feeder.
Kent State.
Didn't win a single game.
Illinois.
Illinois
They made a bowl game.
No, Illinois was actually a good team this year.
UCLA.
Illinois is probably their best win all year.
UCLA, who was sneaky competitive this year. USC. Wisconsin. Ohio State.
And they lost to Ohio State.
UW. Purdue, Minnesota, Maryland, and then the playoffs. Oregon in the Big Ten championship.
People saying
that's a
Penn
better,
State.
And then SMU, and then Boise State, and then now Notre Dame.
Okay, but Indiana and Penn State are the same. Their schedules were literally.
Yes, I'm not disagreeing with you that they didn't play the top end, and it's and again we've already talked about this. The Big Ten is top heavy, right? It's not as deep as, in my opinion, it's not as deep as the SEC, but. All I'm saying is if you put Boise State in that conference where week in and week out, they have to play those teams. Granted, their beginning of the schedule was pretty weak, but I would even say Illinois, UCLA, USC, Wisconsin, Ohio State, UW. Purdue is not very good. Minnesota is very competitive, right?
No, Minnesota.
Very well coached. Maryland is not so much. If you put Boise State there, they're not winning the 10 games that they won with their other schedule.
But again, they have a Mountain West, a really good Group of 5 roster. TCU went from the Mountain West to the Big 12.
Exactly. You're right. You are 100% right. And that's exactly why the committee should have been smart enough to say that's not fair to put them up in this, because they don't belong. They don't belong. And it showed physicality-wise.
I disagreed with people when they said this, but I'm starting to. They need to do a Group of 5, their own playoff.
Totally. They need to figure that out anyways. Sorry to derail us.
I don't care.
So you got Notre Dame beating Penn State.
And Ohio State beating Texas.
I'm with you on Ohio State. I'm rooting for Penn State I'm rooting for Notre Dame against Penn State. But I wasn't that impressed with Notre Dame's quarterback and their offense as a whole. Will they be able to score enough against Penn State? And Penn State doesn't score that much.
I mean, Aller's a good they've got a good quarterback in the time.
But I want Notre Dame. I'm rooting for Notre Dame because I'm a Freeman fan. Okay. All right. You ready to?
I think beating Georgia, regardless of who their quarterback was, is
super impressive.
Yeah.
That defense is legit. They were pretty much healthy on defense, and they made the plays they needed to make.
Yeah. And if Penn State's not a team who scores a bunch of points already.
But I believe they have a more competent quarterback and more weapons.
No, Aller's.
Have you seen their tight end? That tight end they have for Penn State? Warren, yeah. The guy is going to be a first-round pick, and he does it all for him.
Penn State's quarterback will probably be a Heisman candidate next year.
And I love that he's coming back. 6'6", just a big boy, and he can move. So, I mean, I'm worried about that tandem in this game, So, all right, let's bring it back to the resolutions. Let's bring it back to let's end it with some Jesus, like we try to do, okay?
We talked about Boise State.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I know there are people who literally got mad at me for that stuff. And
Dude, their coach is awesome.
Their coach is awesome. That's not my argument. And their culture is awesome. I just don't think they belong. And anyways, whatever. It's all good.
Well, but by the rules, a Group of 5 team was going to get put there. They were the best Group of 5 team.
And I disagree with the format.
Okay, because you can't tell me another Group of 5 team would have done better.
Yes.
Who?
Name a team.
The teams that were even in the discussion: Navy, Memphis.
I'm talking about other. Okay, I guess I misinterpreted you.
Group of 5 teams. The other conferences.
Oh, the other conferences.
Yes, not another Group of 5 team. This year would have. Yeah,
because I had a great account with them on NCAA football. Put in Troy Farley's led Navy.
Well, Navy beat Oklahoma in a bowl game.
That was bad. Oklahoma, man, they got some. Who'd they get the transfer? They got a transfer. Oh, they got WSU's quarterback.
They got Mateer because the offensive coordinator went over.
Yes.
So naturally, that makes sense.
Did you see the Seahawks fired Grubb, the offensive coordinator?
I don't pay attention to the Seahawks.
I was surprised by that. I'm interested to see where he lands. All right, let's bring it back to Jesus. Let's end it with Jesus, okay? I'm going to ask you some questions, and then we can share about it. So what's one thing that you think somebody can do, or what are you even going to do this year to grow in your relationship with Jesus? I know January is like any other month, but it's a fun time to reflect.
Well, so my wife and I, our organization, the Church of God, is doing that. I know there's 8 million versions of these, but we're doing we read the Bible in a year.
Yeah.
And so we're doing it together, waking up in the morning. and just establish, like, just creating. We already have our own spiritual disciplines, but that, and then even like in our youth, we're doing the same thing. We're having the kids join with us, and our family really every year, what we do is we sit around a table sometime before the end of the year. We go, what did God do in 2024? And my wife takes notes, and she looks at what we were believing God for the year before, and hey, this is what God answered, this is what God did.
That's awesome.
And then hey, what's God gonna do this year? And so we create a theme, and our theme in our family this year was biblical principle.
Yeah. Right?
The Bible is our guide, period.
Yeah.
And so if we're gonna say that, and I read my Bible, hear me out. But I have never been a guy that does the read a Bible in a year plans.
Yeah.
I've just always I've just, that's not how I've digested it. I've never just sat and read cover to cover, I've read everything in the Bible.
Yep.
But so we're doing that, and just like, if we're going to say it's your biblical principle and we're pushing that, I think for our family, and whether our kids join us at 5:30 in the morning, they're seeing, because usually like we go and do our own devotional, and they know we do it and have the time, but like they're literally seeing us in the kitchen with the spiritual discipline. So setting that example of the spiritual discipline.
That's amazing, man.
Because like, man, that half hour of sleep, like getting to sleep until 6 as opposed to 5:30. I know you're up at 2. But
not up at 2.
Dude, by the time I've woke up, you've already made a Facebook post that got me in trouble.
You're welcome. Got a lot more coming, Channy.
But I think really just for me, the goal and the accountability of like the Word of God is everything. And so that's, and we're doing it with our church, we're doing it with our youth, we're doing it with our denomination nationally and globally.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah, it's awesome.
So I think for us, that is a cool thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
And for me, like I'm like, oh, the rest of our group is doing this. That's dumb. Like, that's just my personality.
For sure.
You like the Vikings, I like the Packers because of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so for me, I've always kind of just been wrongfully like turned off to the idea of read a Bible in a year.
For sure.
So this year, in a way, I'm digesting it in a different way, because to read the Bible in a year, you're reading 3 Old Testament chapters typically, and 2 New Testament chapters.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see when you actually do it in that format. Yeah. It's cool to see, and ours does a really good job of it tying. Hey, just like in Genesis, like it's actually pretty good at tying. When you're reading them at the same time. Yeah. You're able to see the whole picture too. For sure. And again, not that like you don't ever look at the 2 together, but when you're simultaneously like, 2 minutes ago I read about Abraham, and now I'm reading about the Sermon on the Mount 2 minutes later. Yeah. You connect pieces that you don't when I read the Beatitudes and the Sermon on the Mount in January and it's March, and now I'm reading about Abraham. For sure. Yeah. So that's been kind of cool.
Yeah. No, I love that, man. That's super inspiring, because I know Courtney's been challenging me to be better at that for our own family and for our own marriage's sake, and I have not been the best leader in that realm. So props to you and Channy for making that a priority. And I love how you guys are, like you brought it up, whether the kids see it, they know you're doing it, and eventually 5:30 that's early riser for a teenage boy though. Your boys get up that early?
Hez and Jevers do.
Elijah's up at 5:30?
Well, and Jevers still every night walks over to sleep. So he's, when
that's
we get
crazy.
up, yeah.
Vel will get up early, but she'll like, it's like 6 is early to her, right? So it's between 6 and 6:30.
Yep. And on Saturdays, and on Saturdays they wake up even earlier.
That's crazy, dude. Why do they do that when they can sleep in?
We literally, Elijah, on a school day, we have to leave by 6:50. We're trying to wake him up at 6:30. Yeah. But on a Saturday, when we could be sleeping in, he's up at 5:30. Yeah. Like, that makes sense.
Yep. I'm going to leave us with some words from Paul, right? Philippians chapter 3, verse 14, part of it, the last part of it says, I keep my eyes focused on the prize ahead. And I know you just explained what that prize is. That's just being in relationship with Jesus. Even in the trials of the stress of life, the long days, the hard decisions, the sickness, the finances, we all have our own trials, our own obstacles, all that stuff. And I would just, whoever watches this, I would challenge you, whether it's keep your eyes on Jesus and don't let go, don't look away, or look to him for the first time, would be what we're trying to get you to hear amongst our Boise State hate, our love for Iowa, and just because we have to get this in every single episode, Caitlin Clark. All right, that's the end of episode 9.
We did it.
We did it. You got any last words before I walk over and turn it off? Nope? All right.
Let's go get lunch.